Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another melody tutorial. A lot of you enjoy these melody tutorials, and it's really some of my favorite types of tutorials to make because I could dive into a little bit of music theory and kind of explain how I like to create melodies. Today we're going to be starting from zero. We're going to make a chord progression and then build a melody on top of that, so we have the entire thing covered. And for this one, I kind of want to go more for like a pain melody, so I'm thinking of artists like Rod Wave and Lil TJ. With that said, let's go. Let's go like 165 for this. I am in Analog Labs for a piano, but you can use any piano. I just wanted to show you guys the new bank. As you can see right here, Purple Skies is not out yet, but you can use any piano you want. I do like to have my pianos running into reverb when I'm creating piano melodies. I don't know, it's just something about having reverb on it that just like helps out the creativity. Let's go on piano roll and choose a scale for this. That's step 2. And we're at B minor right now. I don't know, let's go with something like G. For this, I'm gonna go with a basic 1-5-6 chord progression. All that means is if we're in G minor, which we are, G is the 1 of this scale, right? Then we have the next note right here because there's a scale highlighted. The 2 is A, the 3 is A sharp, 4 is C, so on, 5, 6, 7, and then back to the 1. When I say that I want to do a 1-5-6, all that means is I want to build out a chord on the 1 of the scale, then 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to have a chord on the 5, and then the 6 is right above that, 5, 6, 7. So 6 right here is D sharp, and I want to build out a chord progression on these notes here. So we can go ahead and delete that. It's a really basic chord progression, but we can utilize it. It's just one that's really good for these types of beats. So we can actually keep this structure as well. I think I did use this structure in another tutorial for melodies, but we're going to get into how we can like really make this sound good. So the first thing that I want to do is take these two notes, control down arrow, because I want the chord progression to go down and not up, but it's still a 1-5-6 chord progression in the scale of G minor. So I'm going to build out 7th chords for this. So we got G, skip this note here, place, skip this note here, place. This is the G minor triad. We have 2 spacings here, 3 spacings here. Let's make it a 7th. We're going to skip a note here and place. You see that repeating pattern, 2, 3, 2. This is the G minor 7th chord. Let's go over here and build a chord out on D. So skip a note here and place right here, skip, place. Again, 2 spaces, 3 spaces right here. We have the D minor triad. Skip one more note, place, repeating pattern, 2, 3, 2. This gives us the D minor 7th. This is the D minor triad. We added the 7th to it, D minor 7th. Let's do the same thing over here. Skip, place, skip, place, skip, place. And this one is actually a major chord. It's major because there's 3 spacings and 2. So this right here is the D sharp major triad. And then we went 3, 2, 3 again. We added the 7th. So this is now a D sharp major 7th chord. So now that we have this chord progression built out, what I'm going to do is Control A, Alt R to randomize it. I do recommend like replaying these because it can just help. Let's get into advancing this chord progression and then building a melody with this. So Control Shift and click like that, then Shift click and then Control down arrow. Now we have this. Cool, we got a nice chord progression to build off of. Now let's go ahead and start getting some melodies. We're going to take the 3rd and the 7th and just move them over out of the way, and we're going to play the root and the 5th together, and we'll do that for all of these chords. Let's go like that and figure out some type of rhythm to do for this. I like that already. So we could do that. Let's go to the next chord and do the same thing. We got root, 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Let's take the 3rd and the 7th. Let's bring them up 1 octave here. And let's just move these 2 in together. Maybe we can play them together and figure out something. I'm also going to do that over here. So we have root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. Let's take the 3rd and the 7th, control up arrow 1 octave. And then we're going to start to create a melody up here with these. Let's just move them in. Let's see what we got so far. I feel like it goes down right here. I can kind of hear that. So just going off ear, I'm going to go from C down to A sharp. And then one thing you'll notice is there's an A sharp in this chord. Going to A sharp here is like a nice leading tone into this chord because there's an A sharp here as well. And another thing you could do, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but is duplicate this and go up 2 octaves there. And then you can start to build out a whole different melody up here but we'll do that in a second. Let's go ahead and just bring in this A sharp. For example, there's an A right here. We can move this A sharp down to an A right here, and it would sound nice leading into this chord. Let's go ahead and try that real quick. All right, we're already getting somewhere. I hear so many different ways we could go with this, but let's just keep going on track. So we already built out a little melody up here just by utilizing that third and seventh. Another thing that you could do is build out a chord at a higher octave and mess with the notes. So what do I mean by that? We started with the G minor chord. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to build it up here so you could see it. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit though. And let's go ahead and build that out again. So we have G, skip a note, place, skip a note, place. And we have the G minor chord again, right? But let's go ahead and use these as a top line melody. So we can move this in maybe over here and then bring this one in here. And we can start to have a little melody like this. Right? But this can repeat. It'll sound good because it's in the scale. We don't need to necessarily do every single melody like that, but this might sound nice repeated. Let's go ahead and hear it. We can keep repeating it, so it's a repeating melody. Let's see what this sounds like. And now we have a lot of variation going on down here, but a nice repeating melody up here. And that's one thing that we want to do with our melodies, right? We want them to be repetitive and we want them to be catchy, something that you can listen to and kind of remember and hum. So this is a really good thing that you could do to kind of make your melodies a little bit repetitive as far as like the top line melody that we hear. And our ears are always wanting to like rehear that melody. But I feel like it is a little bit too repetitive. So all I'm going to do is take this A sharp right here and go down, flatten it to an A. Maybe we can go down one note in the scale, which would be from D right here to C. Let's see what this sounds like. I really like that. It has a nice bounce to it and it has a lot of emotion. Just moving this over from here to here changes so much. I like that. So now let's go over here and build out like mini chords is what we'll call it. So all I mean by that is this A right here. Let's go ahead and skip a note right here and place. And what we're going to do is take this C sharp here and we could just go up one octave there and turn this down. It might be a little bit too high. We might have to like move this into a different scale, but let's try it out. Let's see what it sounds like. I like what that sounds like. Let's build out a chord right here. So we have F, skip this note here, place, skip a note right here, and place. We have these two, and I'm going to delete the middle, and we'll use the root, third, and fifth. We'll delete the third, so run root and fifth. So right here, we'll skip this note, place, skip this note, place, and we'll delete this middle one right here. Let's do it again right here. C, skip a note here, place, skip a note here, place, and let's delete that. That already kind of leads up, right? So we can go right here. So all I'm going to do now is take this whole chord progression and bring it over. But now let's go over here and build out a melody utilizing this little ramp, we could say, up to this A. And right here, I'm going to just show you how I'm kind of using my ears and what I'm hearing as far as where the melody's going. Watch. I'm kind of hearing like a higher note. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, right there. There we go. Again. Maybe I don't want these notes like that. I just want these ones to be up one octave. All right, I like how this sounds. Before we continue, remember when I said that my next kit was gonna be a MIDI kit that was multi-genre and 100% royalty-free? I was being serious, and guess what? It's out now. The MIDI suite is now available. It contains 100 royalty-free advanced MIDI chord progressions. I broke it up into 5 different parts: dark trap, pain, R&B, West Coast, and emotional sad chord progressions. This kit contains some of my best work. None of these are throwaways. Drag and drop these MIDIs into your favorite VSTs or one-shots and get to work. Best thing is, these MIDIs are 100% royalty free. Use them in your beats and never have to clear it. The 2 chord progressions from today's video will also be included in this kit. After the video, hit the link in the description and pick up the MIDI suite today. I feel like we're getting to some notes that are sounding a little bit harsh. They are a little bit too high up for me. So what I'm gonna do is pitch this down. So we're at G. Let's go ahead and just shift down arrow. And let's move over to maybe D sharp for this. So I'll change my scale here to D sharp. Speed this up. I like this. Okay, now I want to add in a little bit of grace notes to this. So grace notes are just notes that are played like this. All right, so let's go ahead and add some to this. We could do one here and here maybe. So we have this G sharp right here. Let's go ahead and throw an F sharp there. And all we're gonna do is shorten, hold on one second. All we're gonna do is shorten that, and to make it a grace note, let's go ahead and just go like that. So it's like a leading note into that G sharp. Over here will work too. Let's go ahead and go like this, turn this down. All right, another thing that I want to show you that I get asked a lot about, especially for like rod wave type melodies and like soulful type stuff, is like that kind of triplet bounce, these types of notes. So I'm going to show you how you can do that inside the piano roll. So all we're going to need to do is go over here to the magnet tool. We're going to click it and we're going to turn this to 1/3 step right here. So hit Control, select it, Shift D, and it'll snap it right there. All right, then we need to bring this over 6. So we have 1 step here. Let's go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. Click this to get that note length, and then let's go down, something like that. And then we'll copy this over, Control click, Shift click, like that. And here we go. So that's the rhythm for it. And then as far as where you want to place it and the notes you want to use, is really up to you. All right, so I chose to do it at the end of the last bar. Oh, that sounds good. Changing this last chord to B. So all I did is change the root note right here to B, skip a note place right here. And then I brought these up 2 octaves. I think that sounds good right there, honestly. So it still sounds a little bit robotic to me, and that's just because we didn't play anything. So that's why I always say, like, if you're building these out, unless you're just really good at MIDI, I like to go ahead and just like replay the chords in the beginning. But I want to show you how you can freestyle to this just by using all of the white keys right here to keep it simple. And then you come up with some cool melodies, transpose it again. So we're going to take this whole thing. We are in C sharp minor right now. Show you right now. So this is C sharp minor. We're going to bring this down to A minor, which is the relative of C major. And that's all of the white keys on the keyboard. So we're just going to go down to A minor here. And then I'm going to scale highlight this so you could see. And as you can see, there's no sharps or flats. And what we could do is go ahead and duplicate this, freestyle on all the white notes here. Just let it play, loop, come up with some ideas. And then from there, you transpose it to a different scale. So See, just like that, maybe there's something there I like. You can just loop this even further and just keep going until you find something, but there's some cool stuff. And then I just go over here, select both of these and just move it to a new key. Let's go up by 3 and then here what we have. If you want to see more melody tutorials and more theory tutorials, drop a comment down below. As always, appreciate you guys watching. If you're interested in any of my kits, there'll be a link to those in the description. Till the next video, peace.